Very recently, yeah. It seems like 5 minutes ago. It was actually about 6 months ago. I did Peter Pan here at the Mayflower. Great fun, over the Christmas period. So lovely to be back. I love coming to this theatre in this area.
Ray, do you know the area? Have you been to the South Coast before?
Yeah, well, I live here. I live in Poole, so I'm not too far away. About an hour. So,
So, what about you, Liz? Do you know the area particularly well? Do you get out? Are the places you go to for like dinner or walks or whatever?
Yeah, when I was here at Christmas, I had my kids down, so we did a lot of the the New Forest and stuff. And I was here years ago with Russ Abbott when this was called the Gaumont, before it was the Mayflower. So I know the area. I did summer seasons in Bournemouth many times. I've done about 4 or 5 summer seasons in Bournemouth. Been around a while.
What about you two? Have you worked together before this?
Yeah.
Very moons ago. We worked on Brookside when that was on the telly. You came on a couple of episodes, and I was in like 8 or 9, something like that. So yeah, over 12 years ago.
Yeah, it was good fun. Yeah, it was great to be part of that. It was such a brilliant, iconic show.
But now Les is like my surrogate dad, my tall dad, looking after me. And I'm looking after him.
I'm glad you know Ray quite well, because I wanted to ask this. He seems really good at everything. He did the X Factor. He came second to probably the best winner they've ever had. Yeah. You did the Dancing on Ice. You won it.
Yeah.
You went into the West End. You did Grease. They bumped you up to the John Travolta part. What's he not good at, Les?
There's nothing. It's really annoying. When we were rehearsing, he kind of just was sailing through rehearsals, and I was thinking, right, I've got to keep up, because we came in to a show that was already up and running. It had been running since last July, and we came in February. So we were like jumping onto a speeding train. He was jumping on, I was running alongside, grabbing hold of him, going, "Let me up with you." So he is so good. And we have a Legally Blonde football match every now and again. Me at my old tender age playing with these young lads, and he's good at that as well.
He's got a good touch.
Is he?
Yeah, definitely.
We've just mentioned all the stuff that you've done in the last few years. There's so many ticks that you can knock off your list already, but what do you want to do? What's the sort of one thing that you go, do you know what, that's up there, I'd like to do that?
Yeah, I mean, let's mention Brookside. I'd like to go back into a soap again. That would be lovely for me. The likes of Corrie or whatever. I'd love to have a go at that. But I would ultimately I'd love to be in films, and just to get a shot, get a chance, it'd be great. But I'm still writing, I'm still producing music under my own and my mate's wing in the studio. So that's up my sleeve, if you like. But for the time being, I'm really enjoying just doing theatre and keeping my head above water.
You mentioned Russ Abbott before. Mm-hmm. I used to love that. I'm of the age where I grew up watching the Russ Abbott and the Laughter shows and all that. We talked about X Factor and those sort of shows, which dominate the schedules now at the weekend. If you got the chance, would you do those sort of shows again?
Gosh, absolutely. I mean, those shows that we did, they don't spend that kind of money on now, because the sets and the costumes and the money they spent on production in those days was incredible. It was great to be part of that. It was like being part of a rep company. And we still see sketch comedy, or they call it now broken comedy. But we don't see that kind of money spent on it. There are some great shows. I love the fact that I've had a diverse career, worked with Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant on extras and Life's Too Short. And, the fact that I get to do loads of things. I'm going back to Edinburgh for my 3rd time this year, which is kind of like the new wave comedy arena. For me to go into that area, it's like going into Comedy Mordor. It's a bit scary.
Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. My wife was a massive fan of the film.
Right.
So much so that she actually signed up and went to law school, not because she was interested in law, because she loved the film.
Right, wow.
She's not a lawyer. She just stays at home and looks after our kids now. But tell us about it. For people who are fans of the film, what's different? What are they going to see?
The only difference, I mean, the story is faithfully followed. It is the story that you see in the movie, about Elle Woods going after your character.
Warner. But, it's sung through. The whole thing's sung through, and it's full of excitement, fun, and I tell you what, you will not be disappointed. I think, if anything, if your wife loved the film, she'll go absolutely ape for this show, I'm telling you. Everyone comes out full of, enlightenment and full of all inspired and start growing their hair blonde and want to be in the musical.
I watched the movie recently, and I watched it thinking, it's crying out to be a musical. You know, every kind of point where there are songs, they've been added really very well. And as Ray says, they push the story forwards. It's not just stop and let's do a musical number. The musical numbers push the story on. I play Professor Callahan, and my number is called Blood in the Water, and is all about telling the kids how to be a shark of a lawyer. You know, he doesn't do many pro bono cases, old Professor Callahan. And what's great is watching guys in an audience who've come along thinking, I've been dragged here to watch this. Absolutely love it, and at the end, standing on their feet as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's great.
We've not had a bad note said about this show, and I think as well we've got a great team, fantastic cast. Everybody's so great. There's not one bad egg, and they're all so lovely.
Faye Brooks does a great job as Elle as well. It's her story, and she carries that show so brilliantly.
Well, listen, have a great time. We're delighted you're down here in town. Ray, all the very best to the baby.
Nice
Les, always brilliant to see you, and keep coming back to Southampton, won't you?
All the best. Tell your wife to get back into the world of law.
I will. Thank you, fellas.
Cheers.